Very tough existence. You live hand to mouth. You develop resources and creative impulses to get by, and that was good. And then meet people with different points of view. That was good. Which broadened my own point of view about my own country because of the various opinions France or Italy or Spain would have about America, and I would hear about it. So it was wonderful. It was exactly what I was looking for. And so I was hitchhiking from two art schools, one in Paris, and I was on my way to Florence, Italy. And I was hitchhiking across, and it was really rough. It was the end of winter, and anyway, I had a really rough time. And I came through cold. It was cold, and sometimes I didn't get a ride, and about freezing to death. And so I was dumped by a truck in Cannes. It was the first time I had been here, and it was late at night. There was no place to stay. I was exhausted, and I was walking along, and I was so tired, and I figured it was too late to go try to find a place. It was a strange place I'd never been in. And so it was out here. Where are we? It was this is the Palais. So there was a pier, and I went under the pier in the sand, and I unzipped the bag, put my lower body in the bag, and took some clothes out, made a pillow, had my overcoat on. And I went to sleep in the sand, but it was right underneath the Carlton Hotel. And so I was looking up, and I would hear noise, and I would hear music, and I would hear laughter and gaiety, and people having fun and wearing tuxedos and money, and I thought, oh, God, what must that be like? What is it like to be in that place, in a tuxedo with money, and gambling, and one line of the sand. Okay, so now, that's that. I go on my way. 16 years later, I'm in Cannes with a film. And I'd forgotten about that, and I was at the Carlton Hotel. And the people bringing caviar and roses and champagne going in and out. I thought, well, this is interesting. So I'm putting on the tuxedo, and I opened the French doors there because of all the noise down in the street. And there's flash bulbs and people like these guys, you know, paparazzi. Not that you're a paparazzi, but there was all that going on, all this action. And suddenly I look and I see the pier. I thought, God, and I saw myself lying under the pier, wondering what it was like to be in the place that I now was. It's amazing. Yeah. So today, what keeps you going today? Sex. Seems to be I think what keeps you going, well, for me it's always been going back to zero is what I would call it. In other words, you achieve something, you push yourself, that you have some fortune, some good fortune, and one opportunity suddenly opens up to another one, you follow. And at a certain point, when you have success, it's time to say, hold it, I could lose it here very easily. And so that's when I call it returning to zero. And you take yourself back, you take a break, and you take yourself back to some sort of a beginning for yourself, and start new, start fresh. And so that's one thing I think is probably, if you reach a certain point where you feel you've pushed yourself in this particular area as far as you can, is what is life? We don't know what there is after or around, and so why not take full advantage of being, which means taking some risks and pushing out. So when you start to get clouded with what success can bring, you stop or I stop and go back. You say, I'm going to start again like it's all just happening for the first time. So you take new chances and new initiatives and new risks, and that keeps you fresh, keeps your mind fresh. That's one thing. The other thing is that I think there are certain passions that I have as a person that I followed along with the career, and that's one on the environment. being politically active on the environment, with all the erosion that's taking place on almost a daily basis. And the social justice side, I think that the idea of justice is an ongoing thing, and I think the more people that are committed to supporting social justice in these unjust times we're living in, that's also important. So I think putting all those things together is what keeps me going.
So we've got an audience full of creatives here, and I'd be curious what you would tell them, other than stay true to your sort of mission and have a lot of sex. You work with a lot of young, up-and-coming artists all the time in Sundance. Do you help guide them a little bit? Do you give them some sage advice?
Well, yeah, I mean, what we try to do at Sundance is create a safe place, a place where they will feel safe. I mean, we keep all the parts that come with my industry, the mainstream part of the industry, particularly in areas of money and finance, we keep that away. So it's a place where they can try and take some risks and look at failure not as something that's the end of the road or a final defeat, but something that's a step forward in terms of growth. So we encourage taking risks.